Hey, what's up, everyone? Dan French, you guys know the channel. Please support the channel, subscribe if you like the content, and let's get right into it. You guys know that I talk a lot about many different things, right? A myriad of things here on this channel. And lately I've been talking a lot about politics. And the reason I've been talking a lot about politics is everybody out there is triggered by what people are saying, and also some of the takes, some of the videos, and it's pretty entertaining. I'm not gonna lie. You know, some of the stuff that comes out, it's pretty interesting how many people today are really invested into. I mean, social media is there, but are really holding some of the things these politicians and these past, presidents and people that are in power or running for office, that they are really holding them accountable. You know, they're digging up stuff that, and look, it's good because I think there's a lot of misinformation out there, a lot of empty promises that politicians and presidents have made. And, I'm not a big fan. If you guys know, I don't really follow politics like that, but I do like to talk about it and give you my opinion on more of a middle ground. So let's get into what I want to talk about today, which is Kamala Harris and how she's come out and stated, in her campaign, she wants to really focus on the middle class and focus on immigrants and focus on all these things, having Americans live a better life and really focus on that part of it. There was this child tax that just expired, and some of the stuff she talks about, it's interesting because, like you said, the tips and things that's come out where she's now saying that there's going to be no tax on tips. And I just think it's just all smoke and mirrors. I mean, if you were going to do something, you would have already done it. And if you were really involved or had that much power in something and making big change for people out there, the bigger separation in wealth between the middle class to lower middle class to the wealthy is growing every day. And, a lot of these people that are using our dollar or inflation, or just, we'll say, putting money in circulation without anything backing it, it's really affecting all of us because inflation and also taxes, that's how you get the cost paid back by the average American out there. It's just not there. And so we're headed to, more trillions of dollars in debt. And so I want to listen to what Kamala Harris had to say about what her intent is, what her things that she's thinking about doing here in office if she gets elected as president. And then I'm going to come back and give you guys my opinion. Let's listen to what she has to say.
We're going to turn now to the economy. During the nearly half-hour CNN interview, Vice President Harris was asked about her top priorities if elected President of the United States. She's interviewed by CNN's Dana Bash.
The voters are really eager to hear what your plans are. If you are elected, what would you do on day one in the White House?
Well, there are a number of things. I will tell you, first and foremost, one of my highest priorities is to do what we can to support and strengthen the middle class.
So what would you do day one?
Day one, it's going to be about, one, implementing my plan for what I call an opportunity economy. I've already laid out a number of proposals in that regard, which include what we're going to do to bring down the cost of everyday goods, what we're going to do to invest in America's small businesses, what we're going to do to invest in families, for example, extending the child tax credit to $6,000 for families for the first year of their child's life to help them buy a car seat, to help them buy baby clothes, a crib. There's the work that we're going to do that is about investing in the American family around affordable housing, a big issue in our country right now. So there are a number of things on day one.
What about you?
Well, I'm excited about this agenda, too. As I said, the idea of inspiring America to what can be. And I think many of these things that the vice president's proposing are things that we share in values. And the child tax credit is one we know that reduces childhood poverty by a third. We did it in Minnesota to have a federal partner in this. Unbelievable, I think, in the impact that we can make.
You maintain Bidenomics. is a success?
I maintain that when we do the work of bringing down prescription medication for the American people, including capping the cost of the annual cost of prescription medication for seniors at $2,000, when we do what we did in the first year of being in office to extend the child tax credit so that we cut child poverty in America by over 50%, when we do what we have done to invest in the American people and bringing manufacturing back to the United States so that we created over 800,000 new manufacturing jobs, bringing business back to America, what we have done to improve the supply chain so we're not relying on foreign governments to supply American families with their basic needs, I'll say that that's good work. There's more to do, but that's good work.
That's the Democratic ticket, Kamala Harris for president.
So, guys, listen, you know, when we go back and listen to what she had to say, or if you just followed that, I mean, to me, you know, we're almost done with her campaign as a vice president. And I never really even heard her speak or talk or about anything, right? And so when you're looking at these things and you're saying, okay, you're going to do all these changes, one, why were they not done while you were in office? I think a lot of people ask that question. Why are you pushing this now? And if you're involved in the decision making, especially with where we know Biden's at, President Biden's checked out. I mean, if you guys see anything out there, he's at the beach, man. He's not even involved anymore, looks like, on decision making. And that's my point. I think a lot of these presidents and a lot of these people that are running for you know, political office, they're not involved. They don't have the big you know, I would say clout to push things around, to make big changes. And I think when you start to do that, I think President Trump did that a bit. And, you know, whoever's really running this country, corporations, you know, big business, big pharma, these places, you know, all these big corporations, these big entities that are really running the show, they really don't have an influence or impact on what really happens. And I think Kamala Harris and all these presidential candidates, past administrations, they're all full of empty promises. It's a Band-Aid on a problem. And a lot of people think, oh, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that and I'm going to do this. Why is everybody out there more poverty than they were when you first started? Why is raising, you know, coming out and raising the minimum wage, you know, for instance, like in California, now businesses are shutting down their business, you know, because they just can't afford to pay employees. The problem is you can make all these empty promises, but if you have an inflation rate going up higher than the, you know, and the cost of living going up higher than your income, which has been stagnant, and you got to force businesses because businesses are already tight, you can't just keep producing more money and producing ultimately more inflation and then having immigration or other people come in without any documentation, and then hopefully they'll help pay back the taxes that we are already pushing out. This is a debt-based society. If she was already going to do these things, if all these things were supposed to be done and, you know, she's going to make change, why didn't she make change up to this point? And again, man, I just think she puts her foot in her mouth. Again, it's like, why would it's just a smoke and mirrors. That's all it is. To me, it's smoke and mirrors, you know? And so I'm really tired of political and politicians coming out, saying these things, saying what they're going to do, and then they're attacking each other. Look, man, we just need somebody that understands the middle class and understands the bigger separation of wealth. And then we need a voice. We don't have a voice. Everybody thinks they do. Everybody wants to put all this stuff out there on social media. We don't have a voice because we're not the big players. We're not a big player for most of us. And so they're not going to move the needle. And I don't know what's going to change that, but something needs to be looked at and changed because this happens every year. Every year it's the same cycle. You know, it's like Groundhog Day. Every year, right before the election, same things happen. Same things go on. Same empty promises. Then all of a sudden, change happens within the administration. I'm sick of it, man. So if you guys have any questions on this, empty promises, Kamala Harris, and she's a joke, in my opinion. I think most politicians are. And again, I'm not going either direction. I'm just saying in a general statement that what I've heard and read and seen what she's putting out, I'm not a fan. It's all a bunch of joke. It's a joke. And if you guys want to leave any comments, let me know what you guys think about this whole thing. I think that politics to me is just It's a distraction. I think a lot of people get triggered, and there needs to be more other parties, other things that we need to look at besides two political parties and them attacking each other, and then ultimately having somebody that we really don't want there anyways. They're not for the people. They're for themselves. They have their own agenda. You guys let me know. I'll see you guys at the next one because I'm out of here.